What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hammer Down Motorsports. My name is Steve Fast. I hope you guys are having an amazing day out here in Pennsylvania. It is a little cloudy, but we don't have rain, so it doesn't sound like we're in a tin can here in the shop because this metal roof, it just completely kills my audio if I try to film when it's raining. So at least we have that today. And one thing I noticed as I was walking into the shop is how clean the Ram actually looks. Now, this truck has been driven in the rain for the last couple of days, and usually when I drive it in the rain, I've got all kinds of streaks and smears and everything all over this thing from the dirty roads. And we've been driving on some pretty dirty roads with this truck. It actually looks like it's just washed. I mean, for a black vehicle, this is really impressive. I mean, I'm not sponsored at all by Adams Polishes. I bought this product just to try it out, just to see how all this stuff would work. And on a black vehicle, like, I couldn't imagine not having this. I mean, you can see we got some leaves and some garbage and stuff like that, but everything really kind of just beads off the truck. And as I let it sit and dry in the shop overnight, it kind of looks like I just had it at the car wash. So now, since I've had such good luck with that product so far on the Ram, I think I'm going to try it out on the trailer as well. As you can see from the roof kind of oxidizes a little bit just because it's bare aluminum. It doesn't have any kind of coating on it, and then when it rains, you end up getting streaks down the side of your trailer, especially on a white trailer. It really kind of doesn't look good at all. I mean, you can see it really good right here. But this stuff does wash off, but you do have to sometimes buff it and scrub it really good, and it's kind of a pain because every time it rains, it wants to do that. And it's not always parked in the shop, and I'm actually kind of thinking that being that this takes up almost an entire bay, and then I have this trailer taking up an entire bay, I might be moving this trailer over to this bay, moving this outside, and it's gonna give me a whole nother bay for cars, which might be a better use of the space. So my plan, as I've done so many times before, I'm gonna buff off all this nastiness that's all over the trailer. I'm gonna be putting on that top coat on the trailer, and we're gonna see how it all works out, and I'll keep you guys updated, and maybe that's something you wanna use on your trailer. So over here in the race trailer, we got a good mess going on. Basically just kind of have everything everywhere. It needs to be cleaned up really good. And we got one light over here. I did end up taking the wiring off these lights because I wanted to redo it and make it a little bit more neat. Also, I kind of want to put a little stereo in the corner, maybe build a little stereo box with a car stereo, touchscreen, all that you can plug your phone into, just so we have a stereo that you can just run off the 12-volt battery that's down here. So we need to get the trailer all nicely cleaned up once again, get the car back in here so we can head over to Galot Motorsports Park on Memorial Day weekend. We will be meeting up with a bunch of other YouTubers, having a great time out there, good time racing and just running down the track and seeing what the cars will do. And it's gonna be an awesome time. So if you guys are in the area, definitely come check it out. And as you can see, the Can-Am is pretty muddy as well. We've been having some fun with this thing. It's about time to get it washed up and cleaned up once again. I probably will try that top coat on here as well, just to kind of see how it works with the plastic. If you put that stuff on, you'll have a nice protective barrier, and then when you wash this thing off, the mud should come off a little bit easier. Also, a big thanks to Cold Air Inductions for sending this nice banner for the shop. This is kind of our temporary spot for it for now, until we get the walls and everything up, insulation, all that good stuff. Then we're gonna find a permanent space for this banner. But if you guys wanna send a banner for the shop, I do have my P.O. box information in the description. Definitely feel free to do that, and I'll be proud to display it. And over here, we finally got our air compressor down to the shop. I got this rapid air system on Amazon. I will have a link for it in the description as well. This is a 3/4 inch kit because I wanted to have as much volume as possible. It's aluminum and plastic piping, so you can bend it and it kind of stays where it needs to be. And it comes up over here. We got one leg going down over here to the tire machine, and also gives you the option to be able to put on a whip line or another airline or whatever you want to do. It has a little valve here on the bottom if you want to turn it off or if you wanted to have a drain or whatever. But I just actually put the line for the tire machine on here because this tire machine does have a couple little air leaks, and I did rebuild the cylinder for the table, but the one bushing for the cylinder rod was actually a different size than the one I have. All the other seals were exactly what I needed, but that one didn't want to work, so I still do have a small air leak on that. So when I'm not using it, I'm just going to take this valve and just turn it off, and then I don't have to worry about air leaks or anything like that. And then over here, I have it running basically here behind the wall, and then I'm gonna have 3 more stations throughout the shop, so we got air wherever we need it. And then over here on this bench, we have our mini bike completely torn down pretty well. We just gotta take the rear tire assembly off, and then this thing's pretty much ready for its color change. This is gonna be a gloss black instead of this military tan look. I think it's gonna look a whole lot better, kind of more of a Harley look that we are going for with the vintage side plate and the tail light and all that kind of good stuff. So this bike should be making a pretty nice transformation, and I can't wait to get it back into the race trailer and go rip around with it. So I just got the $150 F-150 out of the shop. I put a new brake line all the way from the rear pretty much to the master cylinder. This is an example of what was on there. And as you can see, you could take this and just break it like that. So I mean, Pennsylvania is really hard on brake lines, and these things are definitely not safe at all. So it's really good now that we got this all taken care of. Then over here we do have the 2017 Camaro SS. This car has been an absolute blast, and we've done a ton of stuff here on the channel. So if you guys are new to the channel and you want to see the stuff that we did to the car, definitely go back through the videos. There's tons of installation videos. And there's one more thing that I wanted to do to this car. If you don't know already, we do have under hood lighting, we do have louver lighting on this car, and now we have underglow. Oh yes, we are full Fast and Furious on the Camaro right now. I absolutely love it. It's something that I haven't done on any of my other builds, and it's something that really makes this car set off. I did spend a whole ton of time making sure everything was wired properly, running wires into places where I knew that they were going to be safe, not rub or get near anything hot. So it did take a little bit of time, but I think it's all worth it in the end. Now, if you guys may have noticed, my hat has definitely taken a beating working on the Ford. I had a little bit of mud underneath that truck from all the times we were jumping it in the wintertime. And it's all stuck to the bottom of the truck, and then you rub your head against stuff trying to get things in place, and your head ends up looking like this. So take a little bit of spray away, get this thing looking like brand new again. Just gave it a quick wipe down, and there you go. See what it looks like when it dries, but I think it looks a whole lot better. So now over here you can see we have a little bit of a pool going on, which is what happens when it rains, because we need to fill all this stuff in. But I do have to run my Cat 6 all the way to the house so I can have internet in the shop, and I can do live streams and everything right from the mezzanine. And I need to run my water line, which is over there, over to the house as well, so we have water in the shop. So just need to get a piece of equipment over here so I can get this all finished up, and then I can finally fill this back in, and we don't have to do the pirate walk on the pallet anymore. So over here we got the $150 F-150. This thing is running pretty good. It needs a couple coil packs, which I will be putting in, get this thing running a little bit better so we can get a little bit more air off the jump here once everything dries out. Also, here we have the 2nd gen Dodge. We do have the lift kit, the 37-inch tires, all that stuff will be going on this truck. We're also doing a Raptor liner full paint job on this truck as well. So we need to remove the box. There's a fuel leak I got to look at. I got to pull a transfer case. We're going to be rebuilding that as well because there's something up with that. We're not going to be making it too pretty, but we're definitely going to make it respectable and reliable and all that kind of good stuff. And we're not going too crazy with it. It's a 4.5-inch lift. 37-inch tires on these trucks isn't too big of a stretch, so I think we're kind of at the limits of our lift, but it still should be a whole lot of fun off-road. And over here we've got the ones that are a little more less roadworthy, you might say. We have the V8 S10. This has a 283 in it, which is kind of a basket case. I do like the look of this truck. I did put some spike lug nuts on here from Todd at TSE's. It looks absolutely amazing with these 90s kind of retro wheels. These tires are pretty well shot. This truck was supposed to be lifted. It just was a body lift. It's total junk. And the V8 swap on this thing is kind of a nightmare. As you can see, we have wires going everywhere. We've got cut wires. We've got no dipstick. It does have headers, but I really don't know. I would basically have to take this truck apart, go through it, make sure everything's right, because by the looks of things, I really don't trust anything that's been done. Nothing inside works, wipers don't work, none of that kind of thing. So whoever did this really didn't care. They just kind of wanted to throw a V8 in it, hoping it would be a good time. Being that this was a fuel-injected 4.3 liter 1991 truck, it has the wrong grill on it, so it does look older than it is, but I would have left it fuel-injected, try to get a 350 in here. It probably would have been a whole lot better build. But kind of undecided on what we're going to do with this truck. Drop in the comments, should we keep this truck and try to make it right, or should we just kind of put this thing on Craigslist and see what happens, maybe pass it along to somebody that's got a little more time to mess with it. And over here we have the 2000 F-150, which has been named Mark by Guitarmageddon ZL1, and we're going to be doing something with this truck. Not entirely sure yet what we're going to do, but you guys need to drop in the comments and see what your ideas are. Basically, this is our anything goes truck. We can cut the fenders off, we can cut the roof off. I really don't care what we do with this thing. We can jump it. basically anything that isn't gonna cause me or anybody else bodily harm is an all go on this thing. I really just wanna get this thing out there, have some fun with it, beat it until it dies kind of thing, and then we can kind of just move on, take it to the junkyard or whatever. But either way, we do have this truck to do that with, so it's all on you guys to drop in the comments and we'll get it done. And for all you diesel guys out there, this is our 2014 Ram Cummins turbo diesel. We did on the last video, if you guys missed it, put in the S&B cold air intake, which actually uses the active air shutter and everything from the factory. So it is a warranted item. You can't get your warranty voided by putting this cold air intake on. And if they try to say anything, you call S&B, they will take care of it, because the factory system is this piece of garbage here that the clamps rust out and break after only 5 years of ownership and 14,000 miles. So definitely worth the upgrade to go with the S&B. This is about 330 bucks. I will have a link in the description for this as well. If you have a Cummins, you definitely want to get one of these. So there you have it, everybody. There's our shop update, the vehicle update, what we've got going on over here, what we've got to work with. So you guys definitely have a say in what we do around here. So drop your comments in the comments section. I will be doing just some of the smaller stuff on the lift right now, try to get all that stuff out of the way before we take on the bigger projects like doing the lift kit, because that's probably going to tie up the lift for about a week or so, depending if we run into rust or any issues like that. Not to mention we have to take the transfer case out and rebuild that as well. I do have all the parts for that. So just kind of barring any kind of things getting in our way, I just don't really want to tie up the lift for too long. So if I can get every small thing done first, then at least we can just kind of focus on getting the bigger jobs done and get that truck up here, get it up and running, get it rolling. I have had that truck for quite a while. I've had the lift kit for probably 3 years and just never really had the good time or place to put it on. And we moved, we did the shop build, we did the car builds, we did traveling all around. So basically everything has been a lot going on. So now it's time, we're gonna get this thing done and I get to share it all with you guys out there, so I can't wait. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, keep that hammer down.